Hey everybody, welcome to another video, Angelo and Gino's Adventures, and today's video is going to be a little something different. As you know, a lot of the content that we do here is unboxing of Magic or Pokemon. Obviously my son is very into Pokemon, loves collecting, and I was watching a video, and was really something that bothered me quite a while about Pokemon. But I was watching a video recently, and it really hit a valid point. Now, for those of you that have, kids that love collecting Pokemon and are love Pokemon cards, or, you're a collector from when you were a kid. Just the last year, the insanity of trying to find Pokemon cards, be it packs or booster boxes or, the trainer boxes, things like that. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You go to a store and entire shelves are wiped out. Before you having a chance to get them. But the worst part is, because see, and something they touched about in the video that I was watching, he said that there are 4 types of Pokemon, people. First is people that play the game. Second are collectors. Third is scalpers. And the fourth are investors. Well, here's the thing, and what I want to target here are the scalpers, because which is a good part of the reason why you can't find anything in stores. These people, they go out and buy literally videos online, literally purchasing entire pallets of Pokemon product as it's being put on the shelf or shortly after. My stepson was at, can't remember if it was Target or Walmart. I think it was Target. He was looking at the Magic stuff, and he goes, they just put out Pokemon cards, and this guy came up with a shopping cart and literally put everything into his cart to purchase. And, which is just ridiculous. There's actually another one of I was recently at a local gaming store, and I had asked, hey, is there any Pokemon, you have anything Pokemon? And they basically spelled it out. They said, we can't keep it on the shelves fast enough. We have 2 guys, we usually get our shipments in on Fridays. We have 2 guys that come in every Friday, and they literally purchase everything we have. See, that I have a problem with. But what I have a bigger problem with is, you're basically scalping them. They're putting them on eBay, or, you go on TikTok, you see all the time these people that are doing TikTok lives, with boxes and boxes and boxes of Pokemon stuff, and, selling it at a marked up price. A lot, and here's the thing. I don't have a problem with, trying to, when you buy something, trying to make a couple extra dollars on it, more. I have no problem. It's always been around. You're never going to stop it. But that these people are, in some cases, and I'm going to use this as an example, the Pokemon Celebrations box. The ultra premium box has a retail price of $120. You can't find it anywhere in the stores, GameStop, Walmart, Target. I mean, you can't find it anywhere because people are just going out and buying it literally as it hits the shelves. And then what they're doing is they're selling it. Now, if you Google the price of these Celebrations ultra premium boxes online, these boxes are going for $400-$500. They're being listed for online. $120 retail box. And I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, that's obscene. I mean, number one, you're trying to take advantage of kids. And because, I understand a lot of you have been collecting it probably from when you were kids, and, you've been in it for years, but the majority of the people here are kids. And, they're not in it because they think, oh my God, I could get a $150 Charizard card, or I can get a, $300 this card or whatever. Because to be honest, most of the cards, I mean, you might have a couple cards in a new set that might be worth a lot of money that are really rare and really hard to pull out of a box. They're not into that. Like, they just like, hey, I pulled this really rare, cool card. And that's really the thing that really aggravates me about this. Because, like I said, I don't have a problem, going out and, okay, and then you sell it for, more than within reason. But to the point, like I said, with the Celebrations box, where you're basically selling it 5 times what it's worth. That's insane. That's insane. And that's being a douche. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, that would be like buying a PlayStation 5 and selling it for $2,500. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Because here's what's going to happen. And a couple of things. Before, a couple of weeks ago, I had because what you're purchasing these boxes for, and it's going to affect the product to the point where, because, yeah, people are going out and they're buying pallets of these things, but when parents look at the return of what they paid, they're not going to buy it. I mean, if you look at some of the more recent sets that came out, Chilling Reign, even the Celebrations. I mean, yeah, you have some of the rarer cards and Celebrations, are gone up in value. They're $60, $70, $80, something like that. But the chances of pulling that card or multiple cards of that to basically, to what I say in the Pokemon, or when I open a Magic boxes, the value I got back versus what I paid for the box. If you go out and you buy that Celebrations Ultra Premium box and you buy it for, $400, you are going to be lucky to get a quarter of that in value from the cards. I mean, it's just maybe a third of that, because it's a new set. The prices aren't going to, be that high yet. And you look at the majority of the cards that are on there, yeah, you might have 20 or 30 cards that are, double digits, but the majority of the cards are 40 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, 15 cents, things like that. Parents aren't going to go out and spend $400 on a box where it's basically, nothing really of value. And the important thing I want to stress here to people watching this video is to the people that are actually collectors or playing the game. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, me and Gino had a really good idea for a video that I was going to do. It was going to be I purchased 4 packs of Magic. I got him 4 packs of Pokemon, and we were going to have a head-to-head battle to see who did better in the packs that they opened. Like, we were going to do the value of the cards, the whole 9 yards. And Gino totaled everything up, and I want to say it might have been maybe $13 or $14, if that. I beat him with 2 cards that I actually pulled out of the same pack. I didn't even price up the value of I beat him with 2 cards from Magic. And he got really upset. And he was like, Dad, he goes, don't put that video on. It's gonna be embarrassing. And because it's like, also he's hurt thinking like, oh, like Pokemon is not as good as Magic. Here's the thing. If you're collecting Pokemon, as a kid, or you've been in it since you were a kid, that's fantastic, man. I mean, that good for, I like, don't let anybody tell you that like what you enjoy. It's not, Pokemon is no less better of something to collect if you're into that than Magic or baseball cards or whatever. I mean, that's what you're into, go for it. Because it's not about like, like, oh, I pulled a $300 card, or I pulled a $50 card. It's about the excitement of when you open up that pack and you see like your favorite card in there, or this card that was hard to get that you're really looking, or the character that you're really your favorite, that you like, because that's why you got into it to begin with, and that's what it's all about. The problem is these jackasses that are taking advantage of people, specifically a lot of kids out there, and trying to make money off of them. And that right there, I mean, like I said, I could see, pushing up the price $20, $30, $40. But when you see, when you're jacking it up 3, 4, 5 times what it's worth, that's ridiculous. And I'll address that more in a second. But I want to get back to what I initially was saying. That's why you got into collecting to begin with, because you enjoyed it. When I was a kid, I was big into baseball. Baseball was one of my favorite sports. And I had, if you all remember those floor model TVs, my age, I had a box from that filled with baseball cards. Filled. Every time I went to the store, I wanted baseball cards. And my parents would get me packs. And I wasn't doing it because thinking to myself, oh man, I'm going to get a Don Mattingly rookie card, or I'm going to get a such and such rookie card, or I'm going to get this high value card. No, I collected it because I wanted to get all my favorite players from my favorite team, or I wanted to collect the entire set to see if I can do it. Me and my friends would get together and we would trade. Hey, I'll give you 2, Mike Schmitz for a Reggie Jackson, or, got into it because you loved it. But, and that's what it's all about, because I think eventually what's going to happen is what I was saying. Parents aren't going to go out and spend like $400 on a box, number one. So, number one, I had noticed, I actually was on TCG Online yesterday, and the prices for these ultra premium boxes, where before Christmas they were like $497, $500. It was ridiculous. They're already starting to drop down in price of what they're selling them for. Now they're down to about $260, $250, $230. And like I said, for what the return is going to be, people aren't going to, it's still too high. Like I said, I could see selling it for like $150 or something like that, or $160, get a little profit for it. But it's not, the value's not there yet. It's not. because, and what's going to happen is this is eventually what's going to happen. And it's what happened to baseball cards in the early 80s. Baseball cards in the early 80s, for those of you that are old enough to remember and collected baseball cards, in like the early 80s, there was only three manufacturers of baseball cards in the early 80s: Topps, Fleer, and Donruss. And Fleer and Donruss didn't start until I want to say 82, 83. So prior to that, it was basically just Topps. What happened was, and the other thing is, it's not like today where like you'll have, for example, Upper Deck or Topps, and they'll have the 2022 set, and then they'll have the All-Star set, and then they'll have the Authentic set, and then the Rookie set, and then the Up and Coming set. Like one company today might release, 8, 9, 10 different sets throughout the year. What happened in the 80s was, and Topps is the one that started the snowball effect. They created what was called the Topps Traded Edition. That basically was, if, like, say, a player got traded from one team to the next halfway through the season, or a rookie came up from the minors and made the team and he stayed with them for the entire season, they would come up with an updated set for that player. Well, then companies, became pretty popular. So then companies started going, we might be onto something here. So then they started creating more and more sets, instead of just one set for the entire year. And then also what happened was the companies went out where it was just Topps, Fleer, and Donruss. Then you came in Upper Deck, and Bowman came back, and there's a huge amount of companies that started coming out selling cards. Well, what happened was it became so watered down. Where before, like, for example, I'll use an example, Cal Ripken. He had just 3 rookie cards. One for Flair, one for Donruss, one for Topps. That's it. No additional, nothing else. So he basically had 3 rookie cards. That's why those rookie cards became worth a lot of money, because there was only 3 cards. But then you get into the late 80s, early 90s, where one player has 15 different rookie cards. It watered everything down. Look at some of the card values on sets from the late 80s to early 90s for good players. Their rookie card is $10, $15, $8. That's why they started grading them, to try to help the value of the cards. Now, eventually, the baseball, sports card industry was able to turn it around, because what they started doing was the autograph cards, the jersey cards, the game-used bat cards or game-used football cards, which helped boost the popularity, bring it back up a little bit. Where, now, it's the price-wise for cards, it's a lot better than it was late 80s and early 90s. But getting back to Pokemon, what's going to happen is, because Pokemon is, hey, they're making money hand over fist. They're selling these boxes out, immediately. So what they're going to do is, to meet public demand, well, we're going to come out with some more sets. Where before, they might only do 2 or 3 sets a year. They might bump it up to 5 or 6 a year, 7 a year. Well, it's going to water it down. It's going to water it down, and it's going to hurt the value of the cards. I know your people are going to say, well, you're saying it shouldn't be about the money of the card. But, as you get older, cards might increase in value. And that's one of the, going back to what the gentleman said earlier, the investors, people that are buying it for the long term, like I said, it's going to be so watered down, the cards you're going out And because they said the other part of the problem is investors are going out and buying a lot of product, keeping it in their basement because they think it's going to be worth a lot of money. Well, if it gets watered down, you spend a lot of money on a product that may go down in value. Like there were rookie cards that came out at first in the late 80s and early 90s where when they first came out, they might be worth $100, $150, $200. But when everything got watered down with the price, then the prices dropped. Those cards went from $200 to maybe $20 or $15. So, I mean, that's the thing. And going back to what I said earlier, these people that are going out and buying boxes, think about it like this. Would you buy a bicycle for 5 times what it was actually worth? No, you're not going to. And kids can't afford to go out and buy these ultra premium boxes. So if the parents aren't buying them and you're going out and you're buying all of these thinking they are, guess what? You're going to get stuck with them. And I hope that's what happens. Because, I mean, like I said, I have no problem people going out and purchasing something. I mean, I've done it myself, but like I wasn't an idiot about it. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous because, it's ridiculous because they're taking advantage of little kids, especially around the holidays. And what the last 2 years, everything that people, have gone through to do it like something like this is, like I said, it's just a douche move. But I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I just wanted to just make a little video, my opinion. Maybe you agree with it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you may think I'm 100% hitting the nail on the head. You might think I'm that I'm I'm just like complaining and, that I can't get them. And, it's not the point. If I wanted to, I could get a premium box of it. But I'm not spending that amount of money. I've seen the value of some of the cards in there, and it's not there. And like I said, that's not like I'm saying as a parent, not the person collecting. I mean, they're going to think, oh yeah, like those are awesome cards in there. And there is some awesome stuff in there. But that's not to say, a lot of things that, people came out with card sets or different things. They said, oh man, this is going to be, can't miss. This is going to be worth a lot of money. And then you look at it like years later and you're like, that wasn't as well thought out as I thought. Like I remember when the Star Wars prequels came out, if people that remember, from when I was from people that when the original movies came out years ago, how much those action figures are worth today if you have them. So when the new Star Wars movies came out, I went out and I bought all the figures. I didn't open them up. I kept them in pristine condition, thinking today, like, oh man, this is going to be great because 10, 15, 20 years down the road, it'll be just like the Star Wars, the original movies and the action figures I had when I was a kid. And these are going to be worth all this money. Guess what? Didn't work out that way. Didn't work out that way at all. So, I mean, like I said, it's just my 2 cents. I mean, something's got to give. I mean, the Pokemon has got to, come up with something because eventually it is going to hurt their product. It's going to keep it watered down where people, because if it gets watered down and, and there's too much out there at one time, then people are going to lose interest. And the crappy part about it is the people scalping, they don't care. Okay, well, all right, Pokemon's not the big thing anymore. We're just going to go to this, or we're just going to go to that. So, like I said, let me know what you think on this. And, like I said, just wanted to make this video because, and like I said, to the people that are out there collecting, this is no way, shape, or form, a video where I'm bashing Pokemon and I'm saying, oh, the value is not. Because if you're into collecting it and you're into playing that game and you've been into collecting it for a long time, or you're a younger kid and you just started getting into collecting it, you are the group, you are the individuals that are in it for the right reasons. And even the investors, if you're collecting them and you're holding on to them thinking, that, you want to keep them in good condition. So, someday they're going to, I got no problem with that either. I did that myself with a lot of my baseball cards, with all my baseball cards. I just actually sold, all my collection, recently, a couple months ago, but I mean, I have no problem with that. But these people that are going out and just buying like all the pallets up before anybody can get them, and then in some cases selling them 3, 4, 5, 6 times what they're worth, that's just like a bunch of bull. And like, some of the comments on there, I've seen on the video I was watching. It was a very good video, and he hit the right on the head. Some of the comments on there bashing, "Well, you're a crybaby," or "Oh yeah, say it to my face. Here's my Instagram." Yeah, okay. Like, to all the keyboard warriors out there, bring it. But hope everybody has a healthy, safe New Year, and comment. Let me know what you think about this. Have a good one, everybody.